in advance or anything. I just thought I'd do a quick little show of what can be done with AI for marketing, and at least how, especially an agency point of view, if you run marketing campaigns or more than one for yourself. But really also just show you and make a point about artificial intelligence, AI, and work. So I firmly believe that you will not lose your job to AI, but you will lose your job or business or position or place in the marketplace or whatever to someone who is using AI, to a person who uses AI, because you can get more done and more actual work done. Like AI has now the chat bots and things that you saw, ChatGPT and Claude and these little things where you chat back and forth. Those are cute. They're kind of like just like advanced search in a way. They're kind of just they're informational. They give you information you need, then you go do the work. Well, we've now actually achieved the point, I believe, where the computer will do the work. You figure out what needs to be done, and it will do it. And then you just have to kind of be the spider, and you decide what to do, and it decides how to do it, and it does it. And it sounds a little incredible, but I'm going to show you a real life example of something. So, whatever business you're in, I guarantee you there are uses for this, or some variation of what I'm going to show you here. But AI needs to be taken seriously. Really, I absolutely, completely urge you to invest time, go in, spend a few dollars, spend a little few hours, play with AI. You really can't hurt anything. You're not going to set Skynet loose. Don't worry. But get in there and start messing around with it and learn what it is and learn the words and learn the terms and all this stuff. That way you can be, it can be useful as a tool to you. If you don't, I really honestly think there's going to be kind of the world will separate into two different groups. A human alone without AI will not be able to compete in most areas against a human who's got a good set of AI tools and knows how to use them. It's like, you're running a race and one guy's got a car and another guy's got a pair of tennis shoes. Who's going to win? I don't care how good guy is at driving the car or bad. He's probably going to win the race, the marathon or whatever, against the guy with the sneakers, right? Any car will beat it. So learn how to drive a car. All right. Hopefully I made that point. I'm going to show you some of the most amazing kind of, at least to me, it really blew me away. I mean, I've been using the Chat GPT for a while. I made images with it. I've had it help write ad copy before. I've had it, think through problems and do kind of advanced research and kind of all the stuff that we normally do with it, right? Make a picture of like a kitten riding an elephant, waving an American flag, right? Everybody makes that and you send it to a friend. Ha ha ha. Okay. That's the toy version. All right. I got really upgraded once I stopped using, I still use ChatGPT every day, but ChatGPT is still that sort of chat thing. I know everybody's going to yell, they got codecs, they have all this stuff, yeah, all kinds of things, but Claude is clearly right now, at the making this video, ahead of everybody else. In Claude, which you go to claude.com/download, and you download the application, and it lives on your computer, and you set it up. It's super duper easy. 1 billion people have done it. You can do it too. All right. And you set up Claude, and I'm going to show you what that looks like here. And I'm going to show you an idea. First, let me a little orientation for those who don't know, because I really don't want to leave anybody behind on this thing. So let me share my screen here, and I will show you. There. Okay, here's Claude. So, it says afternoon boss mang. Boss mang is a term from a sci-fi show, The Expanse. If you watched it, boss mang was what the boss was. So they called him boss mang, boss man. Haha. Okay. You can have call you whatever you want, right? It's yours. So this is actually an application on my desktop. It's not a browser window. There's actually, you click on the bottom down here and you open it up, and here it is. It's just a thing. It looks like the old chat window. And it is. This operates just like ChatGPT does. Ask it a question, I'll give you. Now, I personally believe that Claude is a smarter version of chat almost every time. It writes better, it's smoother, it's more human sounding. It seems to just have a little extra something that if you're a copywriter or you write letters or whatever, and you want to have it just a little bit better, you can use that. ChatGPT is still fine though. I use ChatGPT all the time. All right, so in Claude here, this little star symbol here, this is the Claude symbol. You're going to get to know that pretty well. All right, so over here at the top left, there's chat is one of these tabs, and there's two other tabs you can choose. One is called Cowork, which I'm not going to get into that too much, but it's really where Claude goes out and does stuff, puts things in files and folders, and actually does work. Actually means it moves things around and does stuff, right? And this thing called Claude Code. All right, now Claude Code first sounds like, well, I'm never going there. I'm not a coder. It's for some coder guys. All this other, look, it even looks intimidating. What the hell is all that stuff? I can't tell. Run away, run away. Okay, let me tell you this. I am familiar and comfortable with computers. I've made a living on the internet doing this, and I've done e-commerce, and I'm not an idiot with this stuff, but I'm not a coder. I would not know how to even begin creating an application, a web application. How does that work? It's like a website. I don't know. Is it like how do I have no idea. I literally no clue. I've never been trained in it, never done it, never don't have any close friends who know how to do it right. I am not a coder. However, in a couple of hours, a few days ago, I created a web application that's up and running and is helping my business run right now. And it replaced something that we are going to spend money on. We're going to spend $99 a month on this dashboard software. So $99 a month for a year, it's $1,200 a year. I replaced it and had to be customized perfectly for what I need in about 2 hours for the $20 cost of having Claude per month, right? So Claude is $20 a month, and a Claude code is as easy as you can get. So the first thing you have to do, and the only real thing that you have to do yourself, the part you got to think of is, what do I want? Answer the question, what would I want? What do I need to do? So in my case, the answer was, I need a way. I've got maybe a dozen or so marketing programs that are running for my company. And the marketing company programs are running over on Facebook, and some are on Instagram, which is Meta, all the same thing. Some are email, some are text messaging. You know, we do the usual promotional yada yada. We have bulk mail that goes up like postal letters, right? And I thought, I'd love to see if I can have just one place to see what marketing happened today. Because you kind of forget what the email was set to go out every day, how many of those went out today, and text blast, we sent as many. And I'd even recently found that, like, for example, we'd forgotten to send email for a week. We just straight out, the system wasn't set to on, and it didn't run for a week, right? So I'm like, okay, I'd love to have a dashboard that would let me see as the boss man here, is the marketing running. So let's create a dashboard. And so I went over to this thing. I went to Claude Code, and I typed into this little box. I said, I want to create a marketing dashboard that shows me all the marketing campaigns I have, what's happening each day, what the stats are. So how many clicks, how many leads, these kind of things are generating. I want one that I can give access to my other staff so they can see the stuff, so they can fill the numbers in, because I don't want to fill the numbers in. I want them to have it where I can then have a to-do list for my staff on what they're actually working on today in the marketing area and so forth. I just sort of just freestyle verbally, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I hate to type. I freaking hate typing. So I use voice dictation. Windows key H on your keyboard. Do it right now. Go ahead. Windows key and H. A little thing pops up. Talk to it. Now you're voice dictating. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead. See, anywhere you click onto a place where you can type on your computer, and you hit Windows H, and now you're blah, 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 blah. This is perfect for working with AI, because what it means is you just talk your head off. It doesn't matter. You can even change your mind mid-sentence. It doesn't matter. Just blah, 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 blah. Tell it as much as you can think about for that project, and say, how would I do this? And it starts to tell you. And if at some point it starts saying, oh, we'll just have set up a blah, 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 you go, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know what any of that is. After I said that, I said, I literally have no idea. I do not understand what you just said. I said, oh, okay. Have you ever heard of GitHub? I'm like, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. GitHub, GITHUB, GitHub. I'm like, I've heard of it vaguely, something with programmers and developers. I have no idea. I said, oh, it's a simple place where people keep the code. When you create an application, it's made of code. This is a place you put the code. Oh, and that means other places can go and grab it and use it and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. All right. So go get a GitHub account. I'm like, all right. So he told me where to go, and I signed up. It's free. And it said, great. Now enter this, enter that, do this, do that. Okay, good. And then it said, you're going to need a place for this to be hosted. Hosted like a website? Yeah, there's another computer somewhere where you do it. Okay, so well, how do I do that? And it told me, go to this website. It's free. And put this in and do this. Great. And I said, okay. And I said, but I want you to do all this. That's what I said. I want you to do this. It said, great. Click this, do this, do this, do this. And that gave it the ability to automatically go to GitHub and the other place for me, all on its own. Like, it now can do whatever it needs to do. It now has the space to do this. So I said, all right, well, ask me. Another good point, another good tip is, I said, okay, I want to create the thing I just told you about. Ask me any questions you need me to answer before we get started. I want to keep it kind of simple, by the way. I want to keep it kind of simple, because I first started asking questions. It was asking about every It was going to build a program that was like $100 million program, right? It was going to build this massive, massive, beautiful application. Would you want? Do you want multiple admin types? Do you want to have different screens? Do you want to be able to change the colors? Do you want to do it? I'm like, I don't, dude. Keep it simple. I just want something we can do. I said, okay. So I kept it simple, and it asked me about a dozen or so questions. And I'm like, oh yeah, good idea. We'd like to have a report page or a page where I can see all the different campaigns listed. That'd be nice. A login page, yeah, that'd be nice, right? So it's not just out there free for me to see. It needs to be hidden behind a login password. And I'm telling him, like, I'm thinking, I have no idea how to do any of this, right? And it goes, great. It says, I'm ready to start building. Can I do that? And you're like, yeah, go ahead. And then it did a bunch of stuff, and every now and then it needed me to approve. Okay, is it okay if I put this? And you click allow. You're letting it do it. It needs to go move stuff, but it's careful. It doesn't just move stuff. It wants to let you know I'm moving stuff. You go, yeah, move that stuff. So I had to sit here and more or less I clicked allow and okay for about 30 minutes or so. All right. Meanwhile, I'm on my phone surfing socials. Kind of being amazed that this thing's doing something. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then at the end, said, well, now you need to do this and this and this for me. I'm like, okay, well, there's a few things it can't do. Like there's like almost like protections. Like there's a few things it's just not allowed to do on a computer or whatever else. So, I mean, it probably can, but it's in a restricted mode. So it asked me to do those things. I did it. And then it started asking me to do more stuff. So, hey, wait, I want you to do this. It was okay. And it started doing it on its own for me. And then it says, great, it's ready. I'm like, what do you mean it's ready? Like, let's go and see it. Okay, this is okay. So I had just this conversation and watched it do and was clicked allow and all that stuff for about, I don't know, an hour. And they gave me this, a login page with my logo and, username and password. And so they gave me the username and password, and I went there. I'm like, well, where is this? Well, this is that goofy little system. It told me render.com is the name. It's a little free thing. I think I upgraded to be the $7 version, $7 a month for this. But it told me where to go and how to set up and how to name it, how to do everything. I just followed its instructions on things it couldn't do by itself, and I had it do everything else. Not one time was I lost for what to do next. I just say, what do you do next? What do I do next? How do we do this next? Anyway, so we got there, right? I had said I want a forgot password. I actually had forgotten about the forgot password section. And so after I started using it for a little while, I said, hey, can you add a forgot password thing? And I always forget my freaking password. So I did. And now if I want, I can do a forgot password. It just added that feature. It just added the feature. All right. So I said, okay, we'll sign in. So here I'm going to sign in. And hope there's nothing proprietary here. But it came with a dashboard. Right? Here's the dashboard I wanted. How many leads, how much money was spent, what was cost per lead, how many campaigns are doing, right? And a list of all the campaigns here. And I can go into a campaign and see like, we did bulk text, right? And here's the text and here's the numbers and all that stuff. Some of this is training numbers, some of this is the most recent numbers. All right, I can see, here's the text we sent, here's the results we got. Right, I can go in and I can also edit this campaign. I can say, okay, I want to change this campaign. It's the name of the text. It's a text thing. It's this. Right. All this doesn't matter. All these little things don't matter to you. They matter to me. And they matter to my people on how I use this system. And we're even going to make some updates and changes to this because now we use it for a while. Now you really want to use it. But look, I got a daily log. Here's all the things that occurred today. Here's the weekly stats so far. Here's the report page. This is campaigns. These are active campaigns. These are campaigns that would be pending, that we're building. These are archive campaigns that we're not going to run anymore. This is a change log. This is every change we've made in my marketing programs in the last day or two, going back as far as I want to go back now. Here's a to-do list. This is the to-do list for my person. When he needs to, these are all the marketing things he needs to do in the right order. If he wants to change the order, he can just change the order, move it up and down, right? Mark it as done. He can view the campaign. He can get rid of it. This is actually something we started building. Okay, once we started having the marketing working, the sales area is like, hey, what about us? We love sales. So I started to build. I decided to build onto it. I told the beast. I call Claude and AI. I call him the beast. This is my own thing. I call him. So I said to the beast, hey, beast, make me a sales area. And it's like, well, what do you want? I said, blah, 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 blah. It was all conversational. None of it was hard. And it took very little time. Yeah, there's an admin thing where I can have user management. I have an audit log for everything that happens in the system, the login log for everybody who's logged into this thing. I got it all, man. I got it all. The first time it was pretty good, and I added a few of these doohickeys since then, like the to-do list and some of the other user management, because I think I want that, right? But it was that easy. Oh yeah, one of the first times I made it, and it was a little too hard to read. I said, "Look, I got old eyes. I want higher contrast." So I went and made all these things colorful for me. Wasn't that nice? I just told us it's hard for me to read. Make this easier to read, and these things weren't clickable for us. Make them clickable, so I made them clickable. So now I can click in there and see. All right. So the point being here, this is a devastating piece of technology. This is unbelievable. Okay, the power. So obviously, when I started showing this since to people, as I started the salespeople want a sales thing. I created. We're going to do some hiring here at the company, so I created we used to use a company called Cats One, CATSONE, Cats One or Cats Online or something like that. Anyway, it was about $100 or $200 a month that we used, and it was basically a resume submission software. You have a job board, and they can click the job they're interested in, and they go in. It tells them the job. They can apply for the job, upload their application, all that stuff, everything on a job board, and then you can manage it in the back end and keep it all like that way, and send them rejection letters and things like that. All right, we used to pay $100 or $200 a month for that. We don't pay for that anymore. I replaced it with one of these. I spent about another hour and a half, 2 hours. And I said, what do we need the thing to do? I don't need all the bells and whistles. Just need to do this, this, and this. So I built that. I told it, hey, I want to make another one of these applications. I went, okay, boss. Now, since half of it was already installed because it already knew where my GitHub was and all the record was already set up, it was even faster this time. I was like, wow, okay. It didn't cost a dime. Didn't cost a dime. That application, the sales one, if I could make 15 more of those things, the total cost is the cost of Claude, which is $20 a month. And I'm paying this one server $7 a month. So $27 a month. $500 worth of software or more, 5,000 with $6,000 a year with a software being done for under $300. Now, the first thing you think is, wow, I can't wait to go into the software business. No, bro. You may not want to be doing that. It's so easy to make. If you can do it now, what's it going to be like a year from now? Like software is a commodity now. If your software doesn't work exactly how you want it to, like places like Go High Level, Salesforce, HubSpot, these guys, they're screwed because a guy like me sitting in my basement, I could make an email system. I can make a text blasting system. I can make, even if I don't know how, I'll tell you, I don't know how, but I know someone who does. Claude can make it for me. And I'll tell you what do I need. It'll tell you, it'll do it, the whole thing. Right. So, what I'm recommending you do is learn how to use it. Maybe you're not going to make software for your own company. That's cool, man. It's not for everybody. It's cool, but it's not for everybody. But you better know how to use this thing. You better know how to use it more than just as a chat bot, as a widget, as a little. Oh yeah, and sometimes I look things up on Google, and sometimes I look them up on ChatGPT. No, this is bigger than that. This is something bigger. I don't know. Like for example, I'm in the marketing business as an agency. I don't know that anybody will be competitive a year from now if they're not massively into AI. I've seen some things that are 2 or 3 steps above what I just showed you. I'm playing around with a couple things that are like a couple of steps above, where you don't have just one thing doing. You have like 50 of these things running simultaneously, being controlled by another one, on a whole bunch of other stuff. Right? The rabbit hole goes very, very deep. So please get into Claude. Get into Claude Code, Cowork, just mess with it. You can ask them, what can you do for me? And it will actually tell you. I connect this thing to my Gmail. I said, okay, good. I want you to tell me every morning, what's my biggest emails to handle, right? I want you to you actually tell you have your recurring tasks. Say, hey, once a month, go and do this backup for me or whatever. Okay. It can do real work. It can do real life stuff. You can say, hey, go out on the internet and find me 25 ideal prospects, give me their email addresses, and draft up an email to send to each one of them. Yeah. It's just a matter of your imagination and what you decide you want to do and what will help you. And what's there, any repetitive task you do online is something you shouldn't be doing in the future to be competitive. You won't do. What I love about this, and I'm going to end off here pretty soon. What I love about this whole thing is the more I see this, the more I'm sure it's not getting rid of people. It's giving people the chance to do the people parts, the smart parts. For example, I was making a marketing campaign earlier today. If you let Claude or ChatGPT make a marketing campaign all on its own, it will write some pretty good but generally average stuff. It'll be all right, right? and it'll have the usual features and the usual things going on. However, now that I know that was easily doable, I was able to say, like, well, you know what would I add to that? If all that stuff was easy to do, what would I do? And I added some humor to it. I added some actual aspects to the whole campaign. I changed it up a little bit because I could now was free to think about it more. I wasn't so worried about how am I going to do it. I was worried about what should be done and what could be done. And I was able to sort of get that and express that. And so in like an hour or two, I was able to whip this marketing campaign out. And I know that if I actually I just gave this to my marketing guy. I know in the future, like a week from now or 2 weeks from now, some measurement of days from now, it won't be that way. I will just have my ideas, give it the thing, and it will actually set up the emails to send. It will set up the messages that can go out. It will have me check it. I will check and test it, make sure, yeah, I like that, that works, or that I don't like that, right? There'll be an approval thing maybe. I'll have the ideas. I'll give the ideas. It'll mush it all up and get ready to go, and then I'll approve everything at the end without hardly any effort. And that'll be able to take the people I have in my company and let them think of ideas. Let them create. They don't have to worry about the mechanics of it anymore. They can be like, what can we do to help our clients? What can we do to get a better result? What can we do to make the world a better place with what we know how to do? And then you can use that and express it. I would actually, okay, this may be heresy. I apologize to anybody who is a actual artist out there, okay? I believe AI is an art form. I believe it will be considered to be an art form at some point because you can use it well, you can use it poorly. I can use a paintbrush well or poorly. I could write a dumb story or a great story, right? But I can write. Everybody can write. Everybody can now program. You can now create functions and features. If you can do a SOP, a standard operating procedure, if you can write a list of steps in order, you can make that for your company. And whatever you want it to do, however you want to do it, you don't have to depend on some other company making it for you. The days of searching for the piece of software which will do the thing you want is over. You just tell Claude Code, hey, I want this, and it'll do it. All right. There is so much more I'm holding back on saying because I don't want to overwhelm anybody. But please, 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 for the love of all that is good, I don't care how old you are, how technically nuts you are. If you're smart enough to be able to be on the internet and see this video, you have the skills it takes to at least participate to some degree in this entire AI revolution. You don't have to go out and become Elon Musk or do all kinds of crazy stuff. You just need to be familiar with the technology. Do not run away from it. Do not try to hide from it. Those who don't know how to use this will be at a permanent disadvantage in the near future. I'd even say even right now. Like I would not want to be one of my competitors right now. I would not want to be because I'm about to just crush the marketplace. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm just going to be able to outproduce them at a level that unless they're all over AI like I am, and I'm trying not to let anybody be ahead of me on that, but unless they're all over AI like I am, they are going to get mushed up and run over by my ability. And they're going to wonder what happened. Anyway, don't be like that. Don't let your job get taken away by someone who knows how to use this crap. It's not that hard. Anybody who makes it sound like hard, remember, it's just words. It's just misunderstood words. Oh, an LLM. Okay, large language model, a big database of words. That's all you got to know, right? There's this. Just keep the words straightened out and you will be fine. And by the way, if there's a word that gets used by Claude or whatever, ask it, what's that mean? And it goes, blah, blah, blah. I go, okay, I don't know. Tell me like I'm a 5-year-old. And it'll tell you like you're a 5-year-old. Great. You can be you know how many smart 5-year-olds there are? Okay, a 5-year-old armed with AI can still probably outproduce an adult next year without AI. So anyhow, all right, I stretched that analogy a bit too far, but hey, that's what you show up for. Thanks for showing up. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, send it on over to me, man. John at thecustomerfactory.com, JOHN at thecustomerfactory.com. That's my inbox. And I'll make sure AI puts your email at the top of my queue. All right.